could probably really help twice a week. You know, if I did, say, 3 hours twice a week, so that's 6 hours. Do I think I could talk to 50 people in 6 hours? 50, even better. So maybe even 5 hours, an hour per 10 people, you know? Maybe I would even go 4 hours. I don't know. Does anybody have any other questions? And Tony, and anybody that's in here, you know, because I'm going to erase this back part off. The beginning video is what the video is about. Tony, this will be, you know, what I mentioned before is this, and, you know, regardless of your niche, all right, let's say that you're a plumber, all right, we'll just use plumber. So I'm a plumber. So, and this is the plumbing website, all right, so this is my money site, okay, so this is my money site. I want to make this super obvious and a lot easier for people, like, say, if you're running traffic, you're using micro workers, you know, whatever you're doing, all right? This is so beneficial because what matters from this point to this point, yes, direct traffic from the search engine, okay, so from the SERP in matters, but we also need to think about, when we're thinking about a customer, okay, when they're doing a search on Google, all right, and they do a search and they get X amount of results, whatever that person is doing within, say, a search line, all right, say I'm thinking about maybe fixing it first, or how to, or maybe they would be looking up prices, all right, but anything, you know, for you to get a result, you also need to show the same type of pattern that past users have had before they find websites that are like yours, that the entities match. I don't know how to articulate this. I want to make a video on this. I want to think about it and write it down. But if I'm a plumber, all right, and I have a plumbing website, and 100 people come to my website, these 100 people have similar patterns before they come in. So if magically 100 new people come into my website from, say, micro workers, right, that have zero history, or their history is non-similar to the users that have already been there, I have noticed that some of that traffic, if it's coming in long enough from the wrong signal, can actually decrease. This is why I think that say, crowd search, when they're using an IP set, okay, over and over again from a particular country, all right, let's say non-USA, all right, over and over again, sending it to different websites, but it's over and over and over, and the patterns are completely different. And then all of a sudden, you send that traffic into a website that receives a whole different type of pattern, a different traffic pattern. I think that affects the rank of the site that it's coming into. You know, I don't know how to pinpoint this yet, but I think that the referrer of the past history, also what is being looked up before, you know, from the beginning of a session till the end of the session, I think super matters. And I also think that the history of the IP matters, because they might not be able to track the person, but they can track that range. And I think that has a lot to do with it. I haven't been able to pinpoint it yet, but I just, what I'm getting at, Tony, specifically you, because I know you're starting to get into the traffic, is be very thoughtful about where it starts and where it ends. All right, so hopefully that helps you. Let's see if there's any new questions. Let's get down the list here. I'm in 100. So 50 people, cool. I would think smaller groups of 20 to 30 would be helpful to people. Yeah, I want a more intimate, you know, I want to keep the price low. I don't know. I would either go higher to get the people in so I could spend more time individually, to make it worth it for the overall time, for me, because if I'm away from my son and my daughter, I want to make it worth it, and I also wanted the last 9 clients that I have, I totally want to replace them, and be able to get with more people. That's really, really, really the goal, is the 9 clients. Yeah, I've been with them a long time. Yeah, I've been doing timeshares and travel clubs and real estate for quite some time, but it's just like, if you're doing any type of client SEO, you know that there's a lifespan, and eventually that runs out, but when you're trying to help more people, there's always more people to help, so in any case, so going down the list here, Ken says 100. Yeah, 100. How to get in touch? Brandon, you have my number, brother. Give me a call. Give me a call, dude. 550-1912. Here. Give me a call. Obviously not now. I mean, it's 11 p.m. here, but in the morning time is generally really good for me. If I have the phone and I know you're going to call, at nighttime is good as well. But also, if you want to get in touch with me, message me on Facebook and say, hey, I'll be on at this time, and I'll make sure that I'm there that time, and I'll give you a call right on Facebook. Any kind of consulting calls, that's generally how I do it. I don't leave up anything to make it super easy to get in contact with me. That way, to alleviate tire kickers. I'm not saying you are by any stretch of the imagination, Brandon. I'm just saying for general, I don't make it super, I'm super visible and easy to get in contact with, but I make them take that step. Like, anybody could leave an email and then I have to read through and I got to reach out. But if somebody says, okay, hey, this time give me a call, then I can reach out. And if they take that step, then I know that they're serious, But I know you're a good guy. I mean, anybody else who sees this. Moving down the list. Tony says, it would be worth your time for sure, Chris. Your time is very much appreciated. Tony, absolutely. I'm glad that I can help you. And, I think within more of a setting, I think maybe I would be more willing to share a lot more. And then, too, as I build a relationship with people, I'm a lot more willing to help them further, And, anybody that I've talked to personally on the phone, I've always been more forthcoming with, I guess, secrets, But as time is progressing, it's becoming more and more about how fast can I build myself as an authority. Speaking of, has anybody seen this yet? And if you haven't, I want to show this to you. So find me on, add me on Google. Has anybody here seen this? How to add me on Google search. Take a look at this. So you'll want to get on, it's not this. They got a new program. It's almost like a knowledge panel. Add me to search. Oh yeah, this is where I read it. So did anybody see this? Add me to search. Google launches virtual business cards. Have you guys and gals seen this? It's in a limited launch. Google is testing a virtual business card. But I went to the website, and what you need to do is get the application and then sign up for it. But you have to do it through the app. All right. And then it's almost like a knowledge panel about you as a person, but you can associate your business, Brandon. But anybody out there with a business, you guys should check this out. So it's add me to search. It's almost like a little mini knowledge panel. Has anybody seen this yet? Your Facebook ID, Chris Palmer SEO. So facebook.com/Chris Palmer SEO. Also, you can go to facebook.com/groups/Chris Palmer SEO. Get in the group. I go through there at least once a day and just answer the questions. I'm not like sitting there waiting, but once a day I'll pop in, answer the questions I see. I try to share something of value once a day, and then I'm out of there. But there's a lot of knowledgeable. There's 800 people in there, so out of that 800, a lot of them are very knowledgeable. So Hopefully that helps you. Chris, if you have no budget, I like how this is going, because I've been there a lot of times. Chris, if you have no budget, where should you focus your capital in terms of ranking a new website? All right, you do not need a budget to start gaining traffic. I would focus on getting the website up and running. WordPress is perfectly fine. Go and get a VPS, all right, and upload it. I'll show you where I host a lot of mine. I go to RackNerd. I don't have a coupon for you or anything like that, but go over to RackNerd and check these guys out. You can get a VPS. They're lightning fast. They're in the United States. They're lightning fast. Look at this. For $28 a year, I can get a 2.5 gigabyte RAM. It's an SSD hard drive, right, which is the faster one. It's a VPS. 6 terabytes. You'll never use 6 terabytes, and that's per month. And it's only $30 for the year. You can upgrade, say, $50 or $60 for the year. I have a VPS that's lightning fast in the United States. So that would be step one. All right, brother. So $60. I'm sure you have, I'm sure you can get that together. So you launch your VPS. So now speed is on point. You know that your IP is in the right place. The next step that I would do is focus on thinking about your main niche pillar content. You need to get a tool or pay for a run. Go to the main ranking pages for your industry. All right. Think of the top 3 or 2 keywords that you really want to rank for. Go to those sites and build out at least 2 or 3 pages of pillared content that is almost duplicate. And what I mean by duplicate to what is being rewarded by Google is don't copy and paste it, but similar word length, similar densities, similar amount of H tags, similar amount of elements on the page. Make something that Google wants to see, and then sit on your hands for 90 days. You see what I mean? You want to start getting that. If you don't have money to start building links and all that stuff, which you don't need to at first, focus on your pillar content, and then focus on your supporting articles to the main idea. Another tactic that I really like to use is, say you build out your main location pages. If we're talking about local, build out your location pages. Then for those locations, wherever you want to rank, go to the top ranking 3 websites, pull their organic keyword search, like their organic keyword traffic report, and say Ahrefs, SEMrush, wherever. And then look for the lowest competition possible wherever they're getting traffic, even if they're getting trickles of traffic. All right. I'll give you a for instance. I'm just now starting, now that my site I consider it to be aged. I've built some decent EDU links to it. I'm starting to get organic traffic. I am starting to build out content now. So say Google my business category list, right? So like this is a low competition keyword. It's getting 90. I noticed that a lot of the guys that are in here, so this would be one that I would build out. Like I noticed that it has a little bit of traffic, and it's just easy. I built it on an orphan page, Control F, CHRIS, boom. See right here, it's already here. And I barely did anything. What I'm saying here is build out your pillar content, and you're waiting for it to rank. Like give it 90 days. And then as that's happening, start building out supporting articles to the main topic of smaller keywords so you can start getting a trickle of traffic. Once you get a trickle of traffic, if your pillar content is on point, Google will start showing it up higher. It's so important. And then also in the meantime, build out your social profiles, build your links in. Start buying some of the links that you can get. Set up a group of Web 2.0s if you're on a budget, or set up a drive stack. Blast the drive stack, right? Drive stacks are for people on a budget. Build out your Web 2.0s, 3 or 4 of them, and then start buying those $1, $2 PBNs that have very strong metrics, referring domains, and start hitting those. That would probably be what I would do and where I would start if I had no budget. All right. I know that was a long answer, but there's not a lot of questions, so I wanted to be a little bit more thorough for you. So I hope that helps you. But focus, get a, I mean, you don't have to use these guys. I mean, there's a million of them. It's just something that I've used and I really like them. All right. I have 4 sites on there. All right. I'm glad that helped you out. All right. Yes, Google Cards, right? Brendan, dude, they look so cool. I'm definitely on it, bro. I want to get up on there. All right. I'll text, email, and WhatsApp. I had a few breakthroughs. I got you. I agree, understand now. Filter. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate your help. Yeah, WhatsApp is pretty good. I'll get to it but it just depends on, the phone, because I also run a small auction business off of there too. So I get a lot of, but yeah, you'll definitely get through on Facebook or whatnot. They came out in India a month ago. Right, I saw that. I saw the India. I was just curious about it. I was showcasing it and also trying to get people to talk about it to see what people would say. I haven't seen that yet. Wow, very cool. Yeah, Tony, super cool. Michael says, sorry if I wasn't clear. I meant no budge as in, unlimited funds. I mean, that's a whole nother story. I mean, you know exactly what to do. I mean, if you have unlimited budget, then it's the same concept, except for I'm building out way more content. The first 5 links that I build out going to the homepage are literally the most expensive, best traffic builders, niche relevant links that I can get. But my main money would be spent on content. I mean, you should be building out at least 40, 50 pages of some darn good content. $200 articles times 50. I mean, if there was no budget, I would focus on content. Content's expensive, especially if you have an unlimited budget. I would pay for the best writer in that niche and get some massive articles that are going to be highly optimized. I would be focusing on content and my technical aspects first. So if I had no budget, I mean, as far as links are concerned, I would just be paying for the best, highest quality, niche specific. I would go and get 2 VAs, $2 an hour, $3 an hour each, to start pulling in my competition's backlink profile and doing a mass outreach campaign, because the most authoritative links that my competitors have, I'm going to get those links at all cost. If they're already being rewarded by Google, I need those links too, because then I'm going to get all of theirs. So content links. It's pretty much always the same. It's the people that are on the budget, trying to work within a budget, is where you start getting a lot more creative with the tactics and the hacks. Hopefully that helps you out. Sam says, how can transfer my website from SiteGround to a VPS hosting? My site is really slow and that's affecting my traffic. Well, if you go into the cPanel, you should be able to, I don't want to give you a step-by-step over this. What I would do, because there could be possibly a better way than what I'm about to say, just to save us both time and maybe any misstep that I'll give you right now, go to Google, type it in, how to do it the best way without losing traffic. All right? And then just don't go to the first answer. Look at 2 or 3 of them, and if you're seeing the same thing repeated, how do I transfer from WordPress or from, say, this hosting provider to a VPS without losing traffic? If you're getting the same answer multiple times, then I'd go with that. All right? That's what I would do. All right, so Tony says, what do you blast the drive stacks with? Personally, I think you're in the training. I mean, I've used GSA only because I have a lot of lists. But primarily, and I think you're in the training, primarily niche edits. So I'm looking for link inserts, niche edits, all right? But with the changes, all right? Now, I think I made an update video, Tony, but make sure. So when you have your G stack, All right, so this is the G stack. All right, this is the Amazon. This is the Amazon siphon page. Here, better yet, this. So you have your G stack, all right, and then you have your G site. Let's forget about all the other entities. So this is the stack, and this is the site. All of the properties, you know, the doc, the sheets, the maps, all of these properties only link to one another, all right? And then they link over to the site. At no time should a doc link out or a sheet link out or any other property, a presentation, a drawing. Nothing links out from the stack. All stack assets link to one another. All of, like I show in the training, like get all of the links, put them on all of the properties, interlink them all a lot. Make it as ugly as possible. Make sure the interlinking structure is on point, and then pass that to the G site. And then, as much as you possibly can, you need to start powering up all those entities inside of there. What I mean by that is start sending links into the stack. Because what we're noticing is they're still buffering out the bad spammy stuff, but instead of them passing some type of quality, like I used to be able to take a doc and point it at a brand new site, like say I was testing it just to look, and I would still notice a bump. Now, I'm not getting that bump like I used to. All right, so it's almost like the properties other than the G site are starting at 0. So you have to power them up. But when I was blasting them, it's still buffering out all the junk. All right, so what I'm getting at is interlink all of these and hammer, like pummel the stack with links. All right, link it to the G site. If you want to set up a mirror or do it vice versa, like the old version, new version. I know they're getting rid of the old version, so you might not even want to do that. But take this G site and then pass that to, say, the AWS siphon page or just an AWS page, and then hit the site. So that way you're at, 1, 2, 3. You see what I'm saying? You're like 3 tiers out. All right, so that's the recommendation there. Let's go down the list. Chris, can I accept your... Absolutely, I will. Yeah, as soon as I jump off of here, let's go over here and see what's going on. So if anybody was curious, I'll show you this right now. I mean, it logs in. So here's my Facebook. So if anybody's wondering, if you're seeing this and you're curious. Classic's going away. Okay, cool. Dark. Ooh, fancy. All right. Whoa, brand new. See this? We were able to share this together. So here it is. So here I am, Christopher. It says Chris Palmer Marketing. It should be Chris Palmer SEO. Oh, that's my home one. So Chris Palmer SEO. So yeah. So here it is. Facebook.com/Chris Palmer SEO. So yeah, just message me. All right. Feel free. But that's me. See? Here it is. Chris Palmer SEO. All right. All right. Let's get back into the questions. But yeah. I wanted to accept you. Sorry, man. I'm sorry, Michael. So anyway, Chris, how do you use Domain Hunter Gatherer? Is it better than Spamzilla? I've never used Spamzilla. All right. I'll show you. Do I have it on here? Let me see. It might be on my computer upstairs. Let's go to bookmarks. Let's go into here. Let's go here and here like this. Alrighty. Alright. So what I've been using is this right here, Fresh Drop. See this Fresh Drop? These are pretty much the tools that I like. That's why I have them. Alright. But a really good one that I like to use like a tactic is like, say you go into like, you know, Ahrefs, and I'll open up somebody's profile, and then I'll just pull it in and utilize it. Like I like to try to gather up the links that my competitors have. I wanted to show you this down here though. I like Ahrefs. I've been playing with it a lot more. I really like Majestic a lot. Here it is, Fresh Drop. This is one that I've been using, Fresh Drop. I've been just testing it out. I had my buddy runs this site here. So I had him, and, you know, whatever they do. Whatever they do. So I've been testing this out, playing with it. But I think I used all my credits. Let's go check. I think I used the credits that I had. I have no idea. But in any case, as far as hunter gatherer, I think that's on a VPS, not this computer. It's upstairs. Like I have the remote desktop set up to that VPS on my upstairs computer. Need a drink. We'll take a look at Fresh Drop together. I'll see if I have some credits and we'll play with it. All right, let's go to the group. Member requests. Let's take a look here. Chris Jensen, really? Let's take a look really fast here. I just like to see, because if they belong to like a boatload of groups, I don't like to accept them. I mean, this one's even high. I usually don't accept them if they have a lot, or if they're a brand new account. That's not too bad. Like this one here, that's, you know, I'm sorry whoever that is, but that's just, you know, I mean, you're not going to provide value into my group if you belong to 300, you know? So sorry if that's you. All right, but you've been added, Michael, I assume. It timed out. Yeah, I'm out of credits on there. But as far as Domain Hunter, what's really cool about it is there's a website. It's called Expired, EXIPRED, expireddomains.net. And how it works is you log into here, all right? I'll show you what I do. I go into here, and then what I like to do is I like to go into here to deleted. I know, why don't you get auction domains? Because I could get deleted domains and get them cheaper. I mean, it's fine to do that, but I mean, if I'm trying to build up a network, or what I like to do is I like to get a bunch of them and then redirect one to another, and like I'll create a network of 301s, and then I'll hit a site, and then I'll start the network. But I like to use these just for referring domain power, and I like setting up 301s, because if I partition my VPS out, I could partition a bunch of it. I'm just using it for, but I mean, that's out of the scope of today's video. But all you do is you just go into here, and then say I go down here, where is it? Wait, where is it? I set this plus 50, so I make sure it's the biggest amount. Wait, did they change this setup? Long story short of it, though, is you just gather up all these sites here, and then you'll drag and drop it into Domain Hunter Gatherer, and it brings up a bunch. Now, I did test out one of the other services, and because I'm able to go into this site right here, which gathers up them all, I mean, if you look up here, one of them says GD, and GD is GoDaddy, and you can get the auctions. Here's the marketplace. Yeah, GD auctions. And then here's GD expired domains. Here's the closeout. Here's snap names. Like, you can literally copy and then paste it all. It brings up Majestic. It brings up Moz's, you know, and then you could start doing further digging once you filter by metrics. You see what I'm saying? I think that you don't miss any by utilizing this tool. And plus, like that Domain Hunter, there's coupons that always run around. That's when I bought it. And if you buy an annual subscription, I think it was $23 a month with one of these coupons. So sign up for their email thing, right? Get the free one, download it, and they'll send you emails. And when they send you emails, sometimes they send you crazy deals, but you usually have to buy it for the year. So it'll be like $200 for the year, something really cheap. And if you plan on buying domains like I do, like I get in spurts, it's totally worth it. I like Domain Hunter Gatherer. I know it's old, I know it's clunky, but it works. And it's easy. You just copy paste. That's it. I get every single domain. Like, I don't miss any. So hopefully that helps you out. But yeah, that's how I like to do it. They're literally all here. You know what I mean? Like, all of them. Like, here's Snap, here's NameJet. I could go on Flippa, which right now I'm looking at 2 sites on Flippa. You know, I mean, they're all here. You don't miss any. You know, I don't like paying those high premiums for services, man. You know, so hopefully that helps you. I'm very frugal. You know, I want to retire way before I'm 60. That is my objective. Did I close you guys down? All right, any other questions? I didn't miss you guys, did I? Did I back it out? I probably lost everybody. I'll go into the questions here in a second. All right. Any other questions? I'm going to pull them up. Sorry, I think I backed out. The stream was still running, but I backed out of there. All right. So everyone drop a thumbs up, promote. Yes, please. That would be super awesome. Thank you, Brandon. Ali SEO Indonesia follow. Awesome. Thank you so much. Michael, I'm a bit confused about the difference between a do follow and a no follow. Is it something that a person whose site it's to choose? So, Michael, a do follow link is one that actually will carry a no follow. Let me put it this way: a no follow directive is simply by a site owner not giving the thumbs up for a vote for another site. So, say on Neil Patel's website, I go into his comment section, I can leave a backlink, but he no follows it. And when a website owner, that's a website owner directive. That's why no follows still pass power, right? But they made a new rule for no follows. They have one that's sponsored. They made another one too. But in any case, a no follow still passes power because it's supposed to be that Google won't then crawl it. But Google crawls all links. That's its job. Google's a crawler, okay? But to answer your question, because if you're asking a relatively beginner question, which is fine, I don't want to confuse you. No follow means that the site owner is not giving a thumbs up to the link. He's saying that, hey, I don't know where that link's going. I'm going to let people put it here, but I'm not saying that it's good. A do follow link, especially a contextual one within the content, closer up to the top of a page, not in a comment section. Not that comments matter, but and it's do follow, that's like a site owner giving the next site a vote. All right. So no follows still have value, not as much as a do follow. But that's the difference. One is like saying, hey, I recommend this site. The other one's like, I don't know where this is going. Google, be cautious here. All right. So hopefully that helps you, Michael. Indonesia in the house. Thank you. How do I join the training? Sorry, I'm new to the live chat. Chris, can you accept my request? Yep, I did that live for you. The Spamzilla question, we went over that. I showed you exactly what I do, other than me going upstairs and getting on the computer. I'm probably going to cover something like that. I just don't like to do, I don't like to show off this stuff, I mean, I offer people Surfer because I really, really love Surfer, and I pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't use group buys on that. Like, I literally pay for it. I think it's a quality service. So I promote them, I love Surfer. But anyway, how do you get competitors' backlinks if they don't pull up in the harvester on Scrapebox? And what's the best way to rank a page for a different city in local SEO. So if you want to rank for a different page for a different city, you have to start building out those city pages. I might even start those. I would just start building out those pages. You can't rank for something if it's not on the website, if the words are not there. As far as pulling competitors' backlinks with Scrapebox, if you're really serious, if you're a carpenter, you need a saw and sandpaper. If you're a plumber, you need a wrench. If you're an SEO, you need to get one or two tools. You need tools to perform your job, to do your duty, to do your job. So I'm not going to recommend where to go, but I can say that I like SEMrush. I like Ahrefs. I really like Majestic. I like them all but Moz. For a quick search, only because it's so easy to utilize, I like this Moz little box. It gives me a quick understanding of the do follow, no follows on the page. But other than that, and plus a lot of people recognize DAPA, they know what it means. But if I'm going to look at a site, I'm looking at Majestic. I'm looking at a TF40, TF30. If I got a TF30 or 40, I can probably guarantee that site's going to be doing pretty good. That's what I look at. I like Majestic's outlook on links. And plus I'm, I guess, old school. I don't know. I like Majestic. Hopefully that helps you. Gregory says, hey bro, is it normal to buy Bot Soul Scraper via PayPal link they send in the email after contacting their website? When I got it, it was automatic, bro. Nah. No, when I went to their, when I did it last time, when I bought it, it was right on the site. Let's go take a look. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if they've updated it recently from the time I bought it. So you downloaded this one. You already got the free version and you're trying to buy it. And then you go down here. And then buy. And then last time they had a... no, see, I mean, when I filled it out, it took me right over to a PayPal box. I don't know. That's not how it was for me. All right, Greg. So I don't want to tell you one thing and it be another. Okay. So I don't, maybe they've changed something, but I would be cautious with that, brother. It just seems kind of weird. That's not how it was. It was just a button and went right to it. Montreal says, hey, do you get competitors' backlinks if they won't pull up in... Okay, so yes, I would use Majestic or a tool to utilize that. If you don't have any budget, you can get backlink pools for $1 a piece, I believe, on Conquer, or Legit. Maybe they're $2. So if you don't want to give up that money, also you could get VCCs. All right. I made a video on this talking about how to get free tools because that was a term that I could actually show up and get some traffic from. But really that free tools video is talking about and leading people down the direction of a VCC. All right. Which is a virtual credit card. All right. So if you want tools, you want an unlimited supply of free trials or dollar trials, get yourself a VCC. I can point in the right direction of one. I would just head out to the number one forum for marketers, which is Black Hat World. I'll show you where I go. I don't mind. He's public about it. I don't mind showing it. Unless it's only in the VIP section. I'm not sure. If it is, then I can't show you. What was the site for the cards? Oh, yeah, I'll show you that. So as far as those cards, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, if there's anybody new on. So add me on Google. I'll show you that. Here, let me show you guys this. So you go in here. VCC. I'll show you where I go. I don't see it right in here. If nobody's, let me try the marketplace really quick here. Oh yeah, and if anybody's on here, this is me. You know. So if you just go in here to Black Hat World, I mean, I'm a premium member. I have multiple accounts. This is one of them. You know, yeah. So what you want to do is let's go in here to the main, and then here let's answer some more questions. But that site that you were asking me about, if you scroll down here and you go to searchjournal.com, do a quick search for add me on Google, and then go here, and then within here it'll give you a link that will talk about getting the application and what you need to do. All right, and it's like a little mini knowledge panel for the person. Yeah, so check it out. And then as far as going here, this would be what you look at when you say you log on to Black Hat World. And then what you want to do is you want to scroll on down and then go in here. Like, you won't have this section, Junior VIP. I have that because I have a selling account. But if you scroll, where is the marketplace? I don't see it. Maybe I'm getting tired. Maybe it's time to log off. Marketplace, here it is. So you just want to go in here to the marketplace and then look for a VCC. I didn't see it when I searched VCC. That means nobody has been buying from them because they usually have an active thread. So the guy that I use, obviously, he's not up right now. But generally that's where I go. So I'm sorry that it wasn't there. I did a quick search. Usually they're, you know, when he does the promos and he has some that he's offering and he's taking in new people, you'll see it active. So that's the only place that I go. You know, but I mean, I could message them, but that's for me. I can't like offer it to you, you know? All right. So moving down the list here. So how do we get competitors? Okay. What was the site for the cards? Yeah. I want to ask about affiliate site using plugins like Content Egg or WooZone with WooCommerce. Can this method success in SEO to rank and write content to help this method to rank? You know, I can't really touch on that because I've never utilized that method, nor does the small group of guys that I talk to and deal with, even SEO guys like, you know, on the forums, you know, Craig or Chase or anybody, people that you know and people that you don't know that have massive businesses within SEO. I've never heard of this strategy, but then again, I would just stick to the tried and true. You know, if you're seeing somebody that is being rewarded by Google within the SERP, and there's only one, and you can pinpoint their strategy, but there's only one guy doing it, and the other 9 sites on page 1 are following the traditional formula, I might lean towards doing things the right way. But I can't speak on this because I don't know about that particular strategy. All right, and I don't want to give you the wrong info. But if you think that it's something that could work for you, try it out and let me know. And then I'll dissect it. But no, I can't speak on that. I'm sorry. I never used it. Brendan, the last few videos you did a GMB as well as CTR were excellent. Chris, they were really good and got that mojo going. I want to tell you thank you. Yes, Brendan, that's, you know, there's, and two, we've talked before, and I know that you grasp the, you know, when I'm speaking, especially when I'm going into detail about certain elements like that, you know, if you're in that particular space, the things I'm talking about make a lot of sense. And it could be those puzzle pieces that you need for that big picture. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I tried to be as forthcoming as possible without giving away the farm, you know, because I want to share a lot of the stuff that I'm really doing, you for some of the training videos, and I'm doing a GMB thing, so I want to save a lot of those tactics for the people that help me live. So yeah, thank you. Michael, Chris, how do I enroll in your training program? Yeah, I never use the word course. I don't do courses. I only do trainings, Michael. All right. I don't sell courses. I sell training. I show people very select skills. I'm not being grumpy at all or anything. But yeah, training. But in any case, right at this present moment, the only trainings that I offer are click-through rate manipulation, right? I show people how to set up a network. Because of a lot of requests, I'm going to show a lot more. I'm going to get into tactics. I'm going to make a section on that, like what I'm doing. I'm not going to give it away at all of it, but a lot of it. And then as far as the other piece is, G-stacks. And the G-stacks are perfectly fine, but I need to make a quick update just to re-showcase how to do that. And what I'm thinking about doing is doing a live G-stack training. I want to do it live and then break it down into segments. So I'm thinking about doing that. Like, I'll have all the old people that were in there come on in complimentary, and then anybody new, I'll teach it live for, I don't know, $20 or something. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that. I just need a day that I could do it, because it'll take me like 4 hours to do it right. Zumbar, hey Chris, how can I rank? And sorry if I'm seeming down. I'm just starting to get a little bit tired, so I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer and then we'll hop off. Hey Chris, how can I rank Padres versus Rangers live stream keyword very fast? I see people are ranking these types of keywords doing parasite SEO. Can you help me? Well, generally, when I have a question like that, the very first thing that I always do, no matter what, is I go to the SERP, right? And the first question and the first thing that you need to understand for all SEO, any keyword, is who's ranking for the keyword that I want to rank for. So you're saying Padres versus Rangers live stream. And as you can see, this is dominated by big money, right? So let's get in here. So 720pstream.me, SofaScore, MLBstream.tv, and then Facebook. This has no traffic. Here's Padres live stream free. See, now, if you really wanted to go for a money shot, I'd be going for this MLB live stream free. Reddit MLB streams. I'd be looking for something with some search volume. Maybe not this one. But I would check and see what people are doing and utilizing. If you can't see it on the front end, if it's not on page, any type of on page that they're doing, if their site isn't old, then I'd start looking at their off page, their linking structures, and then I would start looking at SimilarWeb and see where they're getting their traffic from, what locations, at what velocity, is there spikes and fluctuations with traffic, because if you're seeing that, then they're probably manipulating traffic in some way, which is a massive ranking signal. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out, brother. So let's go on down this list here. So Alan says, hey Chris, how to index a backlink. There's a lot of ways to index backlinks. Something that I'll teach. I've taught this in a video before, but I'll cover it right now. So if one of the ways is, I have what is called, I call an index site. So I bought a site that has 30, let's just say there's 30 pages on it. And out of those 30 pages, all of the interlinking, all right, is absolutely phenomenal. Okay? The interlinking on all of the other pages. But on this main page here, the only thing that's here other than at the top section, this is the top section, the only thing that's on there is links. Because generally, if you remember this, back in the day, now it takes less. like say like 2010, 2011, when you wanted to index your links, what did you do? You sent links to them. So if you have a relatively authoritative site that's still getting traffic, right? You're still building content. Even if I'm spinning content and put it on it, just because I'm using it to keep the traffic flowing, get yourself an index site and build links to the links that you want to get indexed, and then run Search Console on that site so that page gets crawled. That's one way. If you only have a couple links, I recommend the GMB method. All right. If you just have like 1 or 2, up to 10. All right. You can utilize that. I've also used the blogger method. I've gone over all of these free ways on my channel. If you want to try, I haven't used it probably in about 10 days. I wouldn't use it right now. But try this. All right. I went in here and I checked this out. And it was doing pretty good. I'd probably say somewhere around 40%. 4 out of 10 links were indexing for me. If you think that that's bad or if you think that's good, that's up to you to decide. But that's about the range I was getting. About 40%. I think that's pretty good. I was also using, so that's Omega. I was also using Speed Links, I think it's called. Yeah, Speed Links. This right here. As you can see. So Speed Links, Omega. What's the other one I was using? I think, well, the other one I don't want to give away, but those two are pretty good. So check those out. I really like this one lately. I don't know if they relaunched yet, but these guys are on the forum. I want to say I know these guys, but I just know them from the forum, like over the years. These guys run pretty good right here. All right. This is a quality service. Okay. But I wouldn't do anything right now. I'd wait. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out. Sean says, hey, Chris, good to see you. Just tonight I signed up to check out the training. Awesome, Sean. Great to have you in. Hey, no problem, Sean. Yeah, it's just, it's kind of like using the word like masterclass or sign up for a free 60-minute live training. It's like, I tried to just be, I don't want to be different like everybody else. You see what I mean? I just want to do my own little thing, but nothing against you or anything at all. We're, I'm here to help as many people as possible. I help you, you help me. That's how the world works. Moving down the list here, you mean traditional strategy using blog, you mean affiliate not recommended with SEO. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But you're talking about, I want to ask about an affiliate site using plugins like Content Egg or WooZone. Can this method use success? So you're asking about using WooCommerce, but you were talking about 2 specific plugins, and then you were wrapping them together to make a successful technique or strategy. So what I said was I never used those types of plugins or doing anything. Now, if you're asking me, do I think that affiliate works? That's where I'm leaning my business model, is doing more e-commerce and affiliate. I'm not skilled in e-commerce. I've done a lot of discount sites and promo codes and stuff. But these were just WordPress setups, using very black hat tactics, using G sites. I even made a video on one. I had a HostGator site where I was doing 15 to 25 sales a day. Signups like this. I was ranking number 2. I think I HostGator, I don't know what the search volume is. HostGator coupons I was ranking for. I was bringing in some crazy terms though. I don't know if it was, or maybe it was discounts, but in any case, affiliate can be very beneficial. I just don't know about those plugins, brother. All right, moving down the list here. Okay. Hey, Chris, I always heard that, okay. So what would be your top level strategy for local SEO, not GMB? Example, on-page CTR link building. What would be your top level strategy? For local SEO, it generally, you know, I know a lot of people that build out their pages. They'll build out the main website, and then they'll build their location pages, right? Say state, okay, or city. This is a city as a category. So it's like website.com/ the city name, and then their silo is the services, like one particular service, all right? But I don't want to go over structure. What I want to talk about is strategy. So let me lay out the strategy. So if I'm a plumber, all right, let's just use plumber, all right, brother? Let's say I want to do New York plumber, all right? This would be the strategy that I always follow and I recommend. So it's New York plumber. So what I would do is I would go into here. Once you build out your pages for supporting content, all right? Once I build out my pages, my city or state level pages, however you're doing it, I have my services now, all right? When I need to start building out supporting content to get more traffic in, because you know the basic outline of a normal templated strategy, right? Build out your city, your service, right? You know about that, I'm sure. But what you need to do for each of those elements, instead of duplicating, where I found the most success, like within real estate primarily, what I was doing is for each of the keyword terms that I'm trying to rank for, New York plumber, 24-hour, we'll say, whatever the term is, go to the SERP, find the top 3 rankers, and do an analyzation. I use Surfer, you could use whatever you want, but each key term has a new SERP. Each SERP has new rankers being the top 3 that are being rewarded by Google. I need to tune my pages and create pages that are tuned properly to the SERP for each and every SERP query. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not just duplicating out and doing geolocation duplicated pages. Yes, it works, and yes, you can get on the first page, but you're not going to get to the top of the page. Not for all of the words. For some, yes, but not for all. And then what I like to do after that is to build out more supporting articles. Once I have my main pages ranking, I've built out my links, and I'm starting to bring in traffic for my main pillar terms that I'm trying to rank for. If I'm a plumber, I want in New York, I want to rank for New York plumber in New York, 24-hour plumber, right? Once I'm bringing in my top level terms, when I want to start bringing in more traffic, what I like to do is I like to get the top rankers, aside from like say Home Advisor or Angie's List. We're just using this niche, or Yelp, but go down here, like say this guy here, this Hum Plumbing NYC, I'd pull him into a tool and see where his traffic is coming from. Wherever his traffic is coming from that is a lower search volume, I start building out supporting content and other content based around those types of keywords. I'll build out whole pages because he might be bringing in traffic from those keywords from his main page because he has such an authority site, but he doesn't even have that word on his website, nor does he have a page dedicated to that keyword. So that's where you can swoop in and really get a lot of wins. Start building out pages where the bigger guys aren't doing. Build out those pages so you can start bringing in traffic. Like target those keywords once you have your base outline and structure out there. So that would be the strategy. Focus on content, pillar pieces of content first, and then after that start building out the supporting articles until I get that nice amount of traffic, until I'm half of the volume of the top rankers in my main category or my niche. Once I'm at half, then I could start my off-page strategies. But until that traffic is coming in, there's no reason to be building links. Okay? I hope that helps you. Hey Chris, I always heard that if you leave comments on a forum post, that it leaves a backlink if your web address is saved in your profile info. Does that still work, and does it matter if it's a no follow? You know, I have about 450 links coming in from Blackout World that are those types of links, and I can honestly say that it has not built any difference. Also, I did a campaign not too long ago. I was using Chris Palmer Marketing. I was building to this page right here, /SEO, and I was utilizing that type of strategy, building out just junk links, just to see the effect, because really what I was trying to test, and I didn't really care because I want to switch domains anyway. I wanted to see if there was any type of ranking increase, but I didn't get any ranking increase for my top level term here, which is search engine optimization training, for this page anyway. All right, but what I will show you is that tip that I created. I gave you guys an SEO test the other day. You know, I left it out because that was an old recording, but what I want you guys to know is when you're embedding content and schema into an iframe, all right, you get a significant increase. I had 0 content on that page when I launched it, right? And the terms that I stuffed in there, SEO science testing, all right, that's not in the title, and it's not in the H1, and it's not in the URL, but bam, look at right here. I know there's no volume, but what I'm saying is, though, is I was going for this. Maybe I showed you the wrong page here. I showed the wrong page. But in any case, what I'm getting at is embedding that content can significantly increase. Another helpful tip is embedding schema into frames and then send the traffic through the frame. Awesome. You know, make a frame out of a map, you know, and send traffic through it. All right, let's move down the list here. Alan says, thank you for your answer, my friend. How do you think about redirect backlinks? Is it still good for now if I make a redirect backlink from a Web 2.0? Well, I'll tell you this. You know, I don't think that that's going to be that beneficial for you. You know, and I also ran a test. It's public. I set up whatever it was. I think I'd set up a 10-page test. And I went out and I bought that 301, and inside that 301 link was Forbes. It had New York Times. It had Huffington Post. Like, we're talking about some major links, right? That was just a couple of them, but this is the caliber of link that I had 301 into the site. 0 benefit. So those types of links, if that's what you're thinking about doing, just, they're not beneficial. They don't help at all. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. All right, moving down the list here. Thank you, Chris. Hey, never a problem. Doubly says, I link to only my website main page, or should we also build links to the blog posts in the beginning? You need to build links to any page that you want to rank. You build your highest quality links, right? So if I have my main ranking page, okay, this is the home page. So home page. So you definitely want to build links here. So we'll do black as links. All right. So when I build out my content, I have my pillar content. This is a pillar page. I definitely want to build links here, but when I build out my silo, all right, so let's say we go about 3 deep generally, right? These are supporting articles to the main topic. I want to build my links here. That way when they crawl, they have to go all the way. So when the bot comes, it has to go all the way through. That's the idea. So always, always, always build your best links here. If you want to build out secondary links, build them to the bottom of a silo. it'll be beneficial. But send your most powerful and the bulk of your links to the pages that you want to rank. All right? Hopefully that helps you out. Moving down the list. And then the last question, I guess we're done for today. And the last question of the night, unless another one comes in, all right? Ask Finals. Okay. Ask your final questions if anybody has any. Again, this last section will be cut off the video. If I've provided value to you in any way, please a thumbs up so others can find the video. Get your last questions in. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them. I'll answer all of them. And then I'm going to hop off. But let's take a look here. How to see where the competitor's traffic is coming from. Sorry for the newbie question. Well, if you go in and you get an extension, I'll show you if you like extensions. The one that I like to use is this one called right here. It's called SimilarWeb. Let's go ahead and I'll showcase the free version. On my VPS on my computer upstairs, it's not there. This is just something, say you want to do it for free. It's easy to get a quick glimpse. Also, if you want to see where traffic is coming from, you can utilize tools like Ahrefs, and a lot of other tools. But here, I'll show you this really quick. So say you go to a website. Let's go to Chris Palmer Marketing. All right. And I made a video that's super beneficial on how to get these site links to pop. And I've done this now on 3 different sites. It's worked every single time. So if you want site links, check that video out. I break it down exactly how to do it. All right. But here, if you come into here and say we go here to Chris Palmer and we go to that extension. Let me see if it's here. Did I turn it on or no? All right, let's go into details. All right, let's update. Okay, I don't see it up here. On all sites. All right. Let's reload. How come I don't see it? Here, I want to show you guys this real quick here. So we'll go in here. I really like this. SEO Roller 2 I really like. I'm not sure why I don't see it. Oh, here we go. So here's SimilarWeb, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we're sorry. Oh, click here. And then here, I'll show you this one. This is a really cool tool. I was thinking about getting this. I guess I don't get enough traffic, which I don't get that much. It's just an email form. But here, if we go to Neil Patel, I want to show you how cool this is. You'll really like this. We know that he gets a little bit of traffic. So I just want to show you how nifty this extension is. If you've never used it, I want to showcase how it works. I'm not affiliated. I just want to show you how cool it is. So if we click on this extension, and we click on more insights, which pretty much I think every time you have to do, it brings it up. Not enough data. Huh. Here, let's go here. Huh, I'm not sure why it's not working for us. Well, I'm very sorry I can't showcase it, but that is usually such a neat tool. I guess it's been so long since I've utilized it. Maybe it doesn't work how it used to. But generally other tools, I really wanted to show you. It used to have this really cool meter, and it would show you exactly where the stuff was coming from. It was so cool. I'm not sure why it's not working for me. I'm sorry. But yeah, SimilarWeb, you can utilize a lot of other tools as well, like Ahrefs. I really like the way they lay out their information. So. All right, Brandon says, I'm surprised there's not a much PBN DomCAC Majestic talk. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. That's an interesting Interesting statement, Brandon. Joel's kid says, why did you quit the HostGator stuff even though you lost that asset? Because Cabin, I'll show you why. HostGator discounts. Because the person who outed me was Cabin. Are they still here? They're not even here anymore. It was like Coupon Cabin or something, man. They outed me. HostGator. Was it Coupon? Yeah, Coupon. HostGator Coupon. I was bringing this in. I guess I was ranking number 2. Like, I was sitting right here, 2 and 3. I was bouncing around. Like, I was sitting right here. But it used to be, Cabin. Coupon Cabin, which they're not even here. I swear they outed me. But yeah. Yeah. So moving down the list, Joel's kid. Sean says, what would you recommend doing if a local page is stuck at 10? Well, it depends on who's above me. Because depending on the age of the site, and 2, if you take a look in Ahrefs, I know that they showcase this pretty well. It'll show you a history of the SERP and the SERP change. If you notice that in the past 12 months that there's not been a lot of fluctuation and these same sites have been sitting there, especially if those sites are aged, sometimes it's very difficult to get into those positions. All right. Along with that, what I would be focusing on then is definitely to get the quick wins. I'd be focusing on and looking at my on-page, Sean, because you should be able to. I mean, if you're at the bottom of the first page, generally it's probably going to be an off-page issue. But I would be matching what is being rewarded first, right? I wouldn't mess with the URL. I wouldn't mess with the title if you're on number 10. But I would start looking at maybe word length, the density, the variations. You can use words. I like to use what is called co-occurring words, or you can call them NLP or LSI words. Words that show up with when you're talking about particular instances. All right. Co-occurrence is very, 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 very important for ranking. All right. So hopefully that helps you out. Gary says, could you go through your best and most used extensions at a later date, not today, as it's quite long, I assume? Well, I just showed the extensions, but if you take a look up here, these are the ones I use the most. I really love SEO Meta in one click, because if I go to my website, this is one of them. I'll show you in 1 second how cool it is for on-page factors. This right here is Surfer SEO, and then for quick understanding of the do follow, no follow, say I'm trying to build links, like if I'm looking for edus or .govs, which I do a lot of. I still sell those. I use this tool a lot when I'm scanning pages and I'm searching. I find a lot of them a big hint by going to a seller's site. So say I find people that are selling edu and .govs on, say, like Fiverr or Conquer, right? And generally they'll showcase their website. And when you go to their website, they'll give you a link list. And what I do is I'll pull their profiles and then I'll start looking at where they're getting their links from. And if it's not an edu or a .gov that I already have, then I'll go out and I'll acquire those links. That's how I got the Harvard. That's how I got a lot of those really juicy edu links that I never share. I got a Berkeley, an official Berkeley link. I got an official Harvard link. I got some really, I think I got a Stanford. I got Stanford, Berkeley, Harvard. I got all of those top schools. But yeah. But here, let me show you this. Chris, I want to show you how cool this tool is. Since we're talking about extensions, it's called SEO Meta in one click, and you click on it, and this is for quick analyzation. So here's a summary of the page. My title, my description, Keywords, and then there's this, your robots tag. It gives me my headers. It tells me, okay, I have one H1, two H2s, no H3s, no H4, no H5, no H6. It tells you how many images, and also the alt text. If I had alt text, it would tell me. Internal linking structure, really cool tool. Surfer, I don't know if you've noticed, I pay for the plan. So that's why when I'm inside the SERP here, it'll give recommendations and whatnot. But as a complementary tool, it's really cool because it shows search volume, kind of like that keyword tool used to do. All right. So hopefully that was beneficial. I also really like, if you noticed inside of here in my extensions, there's one in here called SEO Ruler. This is a pretty cool tool right here. SEO Quick I really like. I haven't used this one in a while. This is for YouTube. Web Developer, I use this when I'm doing audits. Depends on a client. I only turn that on for that. This is Autofill. I use this when I'm getting, I like sneakers. So if I'm getting sneakers, I use this. And this is Majestic. If I'm just doing a quick search, then that's that. Page Reader, when I want to digest content and I don't want to read, I use that. And this is SEMrush. I have an SEMrush account. When I want to use it, I turn it on. So there you go. But this is my YouTube laptop. I make videos and stuff on this. My workstation's upstairs. So glad we could cover that. All right. So do you think PBNs, like real PBNs, are still good in 2020 and organic still strong, even with all Google's pushback for paid listings to overtake organics? I think that a properly executed PBN, where you went out and you purchased non-dropped quality domains, all right, that you built how they were, and you put new content on them, you set up social entities, you brand them, you start sending in new branded anchors, right? You treat them as though they're a real website is what I'm getting at. I think that you build out that first 20 sites. I think that can be a super powerful and ultra beneficial asset for any website. When I intake a new client, the first thing that I'm doing as soon as I nail the contract, is I start to build out that first 20. So hopefully that helps you out. I always set them up with something that I control. That's also known as the first tier. Picasso says, quick question, Chris. How was your kid's first day of school? Well, I think that doesn't, for Lily, my daughter, her school isn't starting for another 2 weeks here in Pennsylvania. So, she didn't go yet. As far as little C, I've been in hot debates about keeping him permanently homeschooled, but that's my objective and goal. All right, so I think that's it. I'm getting relatively tired here. I wanted to put out something valuable. I hope that you liked the 301 redirect in the beginning of this talk. If you have any further questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you. So just let me know. Okay. But yeah, I'll be happy to answer those for you. I also like this tool here. I'll show you guys quick. And if you have any last questions, go ahead and throw it in. We are on the same page. Have a wonderful night, bro. You rock. Hey, have a great night, Brendan. Tony, can you make an SOP video at some point in the future? Yeah, I think that the operating procedure per niche and per SERP is completely different. That was generally I would do the audit for free and then charge for the process. I'd break down the process and then I would cover exactly what part of the process is that I can utilize, and then I would point the prospect or the customer into the right direction of where they could implement a lot of the strategies that I laid out. But yeah, customize it. I would just put custom in front of that SOP, because each SERP, each niche is completely different, and the strategies are just a little bit different for each. I mean, as far as the on page, taking care of those factors, but those are all the same. But the keyword research is different. There's certain strategies that are a little bit different. So hopefully that helps you out. Let's get inside of here. I want to show you a tool that I really like. Since we're on the since we're talking about tools, so what you got to do here is you click this on. All right, and then we go down here, and then we'll launch this. We'll go over here. We'll go here. We'll go to bookmarks, and then we will launch this. Open in a new tab. And then here I'll show you a cool tool. I don't know if you guys have ever used this, but I really like this for some quick, cheap keyword research. All right, I'm not affiliated by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I like this tool a lot. Let's see if I still have some credits here. Okay, any other questions? Let's refresh this. All right, let's come and see if there's any questions. All right, thanks for making these videos for us. All right, it seems like that the questions have dried up, so I guess maybe I'll just drop off. But it's been a pleasure, everyone. I truly appreciate you coming on and asking questions. If you are interested at all in reaching me, maybe you want to set up an hour consultation, reach out on Facebook. The emails, I only check them once a week. So yeah. It's been a pleasure. So I don't think that there's any questions. Oh. Okay, actually I can't turn on the proxy right now because it'll kick me off. Alrighty, well, that's gonna be it. Thank you. I'll see everybody next time. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video. Any questions? Leave them in the comments. Everybody have a great night. I'll see you in the next one. Good night. Oh, also, hey, quick. Here, I'll share this with you. Grammarly, I hate to do this, but if anybody needs Grammarly, if anybody needs Nord, if anybody needs IPVanish, Grammarly, Nord, if anybody needs any WordPress theme or plugin, all right, I mean, here I'll show you guys the list. I'll leave that in here. If anybody is interested in any of these, I have all of these for, I mean, I do them for $4. I mean, any of these. Look at, I have all of these. Look at, there's literally, these are themes and plugins. If anybody wants to just sample them out, I have over 2,500. All right. So, Grammarly, IPVanish, Nord. Soon I'm going to be offering, depending on if they want to work with me or not, I might start offering some type of group buy for very popular SEO tools coming up here soon. Just depends on if they decide to work with me or not. But any type of tool like that, stuff that you need to use. All right, so people are here. You guys are seeing it. If you want to, if you like anything that's on this list here, go ahead and come on over here to Podia and then just message me on Podia. It's live, so just message me on here. if you come over here to this little button here and just click on it, I'm online, obviously, because I'm online. You can just message me. But if you scroll down here and you go to WordPress plugins or themes, just whatever you want, you just come in here and just get it. It's right here. And then just tell me which one from the list that you're interested in, and then I'll send it right to you. Also, it goes for this. You know, like if you want Grammarly, this is a shared account. I have a lot of these. All right, so just let me know if you guys need anything like that. I can certainly help you out. He's on the group buys. Cool, Tony. Yeah, I mean, anybody that, you know, if you guys are on with me late night like this, you're probably within, I consider, like, my circle. I don't mind sharing this because I'm going to clear this part off. So, you know, the 18 people that are here, if you need this, if you need those services, let me know. I can also point you guys, you know, like I mentioned, like a great friend of mine runs a particular service for a lot of very high quality SEO tools, and I could probably help you out. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. You know, tools are essential to our work. So if you guys need them, let me know. All right. Yeah. So I hope that helps you. I really like Grammarly. You know what I like about Grammarly? If anybody wants to know. Here's what I like about it. There's one thing in here that I like, and I'll show you exactly what it is. Because I don't know if anybody has ever used Copyscape before, but I love, like, say you put something in here and I copy and I paste a piece of content. If you come over here to the assistant, start assistant, see the plagiarism? I really like the plagiarism checker, so I can check for duplicate content that's out there on the web. Not that I think that it's an issue, but I like to create unique. I really like that. And I like the new things in Grammarly where it lets you adjust the way that you're speaking. Like, say you want to do, like, knowledgeable or something like that. I really like that. I like it a lot. Yeah, because I use that. Oh, not for this. I think I used it for this one, for the CTR manipulation. Yeah, I used it for this. I spun this up here. This was a spin, and I just took it over here, and I was like, let's see here. Done. And then I checked plagiarism. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that. I really like that. SEO Surfer in there. Well, I work with the guys from Surfer. They're great guys. I would never I wouldn't do that with their service. So no, I can't do I don't do group buys with Surfer. All right, because I work with them. They've been very gracious to me. They help me out. The only thing that I can do for them is I can give you a week for $1. So if you want that, here, I'll give that to you quick. So it's this link here, copy. Here's a week for $1. Just click this. If you want to try it out, try it out. But I love Surfer. Have you guys ever been in Surfer? Let me show you. Know what? Since we're here, would you guys like to see what I love about Surfer? I'll show one thing. I'm not going to pitch it to you. I'm just going to show you what's beneficial. Here, let me show you guys quick. There's one element inside of Surfer that saves a lot of time. So here is, let's log in here. All right. I think I logged in through my affiliate link. That doesn't matter. All right, here, come into here. If you guys take a look here, what account is this? Chris Palmer SEO. Okay. So this is my, if you take a look here at, let's go to SEO audit checklist, on page SEO checklist. Let's come over here. Let me show you the most valuable asset here. So if we come to this, I want to show you guys this. Unless you guys, do you mind? Yeah, you want to see it? Okay, cool. Good. Here, I mean, this part here is very, this is a valuable asset to know, like, okay, I need to write 4,500 words for this keyword. And all this is really cool. Like, this is beneficial. This is 500 factors over here on the left-hand side. Page speed, structured data, hidden content, above the fold. I mean, there's 500 factors. Each of these small little elements is another factor. So say I do this, like this is a factor. I mean, it's calling out each and every factor. How many characters are in the image alt? How much content, right? This is all beneficial. But they made something and they just updated it that makes this the sickest thing ever. And then I'm not pitching, if you want to try it out, try it out. I'm just showing you this because it's super beneficial. But say we're on this page here, right? I'm on my website. Let me just go to, let me go over here. Go here. Let me just go grab something really quick. I want to show you guys something. Because I've been working on this page. But I just want to show you the best element. I hope you guys don't mind. Let me double check here. So we'll go to pages, right? So say you're building out a page. I need some content to show you. And I was already working on this page. So that's why I'm going to use this. And I didn't launch it yet. And then you guys see, like, here's what I use on this site to make it simple. Like, I really like Thrive. I'm going to switch to Oxygen for my next site that I'll showcase openly. But I like Thrive. And then as far as everything else, like, I keep everything super clean. Like, I don't clutter it. This is the all-in-one pack. I don't write descriptions. I wrote this in here only because this is what's exactly on my page. All right, you can get away with that. It's already on the page. I just doubled it because I needed to increase my context. But here, let's go over to here. And then here, let me show you guys this. All right, so if I gather this up, right, Control A, and I copy it, let me show you the best part. Preview. Watch this. Let me show you. So say, okay, I'm on Surfer and I want to utilize this. So I copy all the content that's on here. I head over here to Surfer, and here's what they changed about Surfer that makes it super beneficial. All right, check this out. So if you head over here to the content editor, this is where all the magic happens. So if we head in here, here's SEO audit checklist. As you can see, this is what I'm worried about, at least for this account. But if we go on to here, all right, we're inside it. It's going to optimize my content against the SERP, which is always what I say. You want to optimize and tune your pages against what's already being rewarded by Google. So these are the top ranking pages, and what makes it a benefit here, and I'm going to show you these 2 steps, is when I go inside of here, is I want to take out the sites that are there because of their off page. So like Backlinko, we're taking him off, right? Like I want to take off, okay, this guy would be really good to have in here. Like, see the domain score is high. Like, yeah, we want to leave that in there, but I wouldn't take Backlinko because he's got a lot. But they pretty much chose who I like. I would get this guy in there too. All right. And then you save those changes. And then here we go. Here's what makes this so awesome. So I head over to this and then look at, I'm literally here. Let's paste the content into here. So there's my title. You can write your whole page inside of here. And this is what makes it better, because I was using Pop. This is why I like it better than Pop, because Pop's cool and it gives you the layouts, but I love this particular feature because, okay, I put the content in there that I'm already writing, and then it tells me, look, it's right here. Okay, I have the right amount of words on the page. I have the right amount of headings. Do I have the right amount of paragraphs? It's literally optimizing my page for me against the SERP and what's ranking. So bold words, I don't have enough bold words. Right? So I could go in here and I could bold up some particular words that are, beneficial. The images, like a lot of people don't have any images. Here's another thing that they added. Like when we're talking about NLP, or if you want to call it LSI, but I like to use co-occurring words that show up on other pages that are ranking inside of my industry. Co-occurrence. So look at, like, these words are showing up on the made ranking pages, and this is how many times. So the sites that I pulled in, those top, like the 6 sites that I pulled in, these words are showing up on all of those sites, and this many times is how many I need to use inside my content to match what's already being rewarded by Google. So I just think that this particular tool is super beneficial. Again, I mean, I just think that it's super sick. And then here they give you another one too. So here's other relevant terms. So to be 100% honest with you, like you could go in here and be like, you could actually write content off of this. Technical SEO audit on landing pages, right, will increase your page speed for an SEO campaign. Look at, I could utilize all that in one sentence. Like I could write my content based off of what's already showing up. Like this is what I like about it. And then look at this. Topics and questions to answer. So these are like the who, what, when, why, where, like the kind of stuff that you need to get on the page. So what is included in SEO audit? These are the questions that need to be answered on the page to make your page the most relevant. When you're the most relevant, you rank higher. Like I just really like this particular tool. And then you can export the HTML and you can bring it right over. So I can do all my work in here. I can put my H tags, my bolds, everything. It's right here. So that's my rant on how sweet that is. But yeah, it's a powerful tool. Absolutely. Christopher Cooper says, what hosting do you recommend that is fast? Well, for this particular site here, all right. Here, let's go to GT Metrics. So for this particular site right here, if I'm not using a VPS, then I always recommend, I like HostGator. I use HostGator Cloud. All right. And then the way I've optimized it, if we just go in here and we go to HTTPS and we go to chrispalmermarketing.com, right? We'll test this. So this is what I was able to get out of HostGator. The other site I'm still working on, so there's no content to test. But if I'm just running a normal site, I used HostGator Cloud. I don't use any type of shared. I like Cloud if I'm going to go for cheap. Plus, it's easy to scale. And then 2, like VPSs, as long as you know how to connect, like SSH, and it's, as long as you have a little bit of technical know-how, a VPS is so easy to do, especially if you're just trying to upload WordPress, harden the server. It's so easy. It's so easy. That's my recommendation. But here, let's take a look here. So we got, what did we load in 3 seconds? So that's kind of slow, actually. What seems to be the holdup? Let's see my timings. So time to first byte is 481. So that's perfect. A half a second. My time to first byte is a half a second. So, I mean, this doesn't matter. It's this that matters. So yeah, I mean, I think that this is good. My overall score is a 97 on here. Here's the waterfall. So yeah, I mean, this is HostGator is what I'm getting at here. So what is it? What am I slow on? I mean, everything is pretty much on point, I think speed is a relatively important factor. I think that this was testing against, mobile, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but so anyway, I wanted to show you guys that, and gals. I like this tool too. Any other quick questions before I hop off? What if everyone using Surfer? What if everyone is using Surfer? Well, it's not that you're copying. You're just tuning and optimizing that's optimal. And not everybody is using it. Not a lot of people follow what I like to call SEO science. You know, like, not a lot of people take a scientific approach to their SEO where they're breaking down each granular detail, like how many bolds, how much word count, how many images, what type of alt text. Like, not everybody does SEO like I do. You know, like, that's how I teach it because that's how I recommend doing it. If I take in a client, that's how I do it. But not everybody does that. You know, if you go out and you start looking at, you know, the most important on-page factors for a lot of other sites that are top ranking, you know, then a lot of them won't list the URL or the title, H1 through H6, the paragraph tags, the images, alt text, bolds, italics, forms. Like, that kind of stuff barely even comes up. Like, yeah, the title and the H1 will come up, but the URL is important. How many paragraphs, how many sections? Like, I think that when you break it down like that, you just get a much better result. And then you just go above board. You know, that's what I like about that tool. You know, there's a lot of other tools. Like, Pop does something very similar, but I just think that for price versus what I'm getting, I think that Surfer's just a better tool. Not to say that that one's not good. I'm not saying that at all. But in any case, so yeah, so VPSs, I use RackNerd for all of my other projects. RackNerd. And then for anything that, if say somebody's on a budget, if they're going cheap, I use HostGator Cloud, and I always use them with a coupon. Always, always, always. Plus, I have a stack of coupons from when I used to run the, like, when you're an affiliate with them, they give you a lot of extra bonuses. So yeah, and HostGator was great. I mean, they are great, I should say. All right, moving down the list here. Can surfers support Arabic language? You know, I'm not really sure. So let's head into here. This is the referral. You know, I don't, to be honest with you, I really do not know. But I'm sure a quick search would give you that answer. I'm sorry that I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah. Alrighty, so we ended up getting a few more people on. I'm sorry I did a pump fake. But I think that's going to be about it for today. We've been on for 2 hours. Wow. That was a little bit longer than I thought, than I anticipated. But yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. I truly appreciate everybody that came on and answered questions or asked questions. See, getting tired. I'm glad I found your channel. I'm glad you found it too. So if nothing else, all right then. SEO Science best SEO channel on YouTube, hands down. I'm not sure where SEO Science... Is that a new YouTube channel, or are you saying that you like mine? Thanks, Chris. Hey, Tony. Always my pleasure. I'm glad that I could help you out. Any final questions before I jump in? Gary, you have a question? Any questions? Tools. I'm not sure what you mean by tools. I do like Maynard though, if that's what you're speaking on. I'm live now. But yeah. Any other questions before I hop off? I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks, Tony. Alrighty. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'll take any final last questions. What's the next video about? You called it SEO Science. Well, tomorrow I'm going to be gone. I have business to attend to tomorrow. That's why I did this tonight. So what I'll do is I'll break this video up into two. I'll take the Q&A, maybe push that. I'll launch that at another day, like an off day where I don't feel like making a video. I'll save it in the cut and then I'll upload it. But I'm definitely going to upload this video here. The first, 11 minutes or whatnot. But I don't know. I'll check my board. But I might do something about YouTube, I think, next. Have you used your CTR network to try duping affiliate clicks? No. No, I haven't. I try to steer clear of anything where they're literally trying to track and trace that. I utilize the traffic. What I utilize it for is simply for ranking unverified listings. And when we launch a new page with a new verified listing in a particular location for the travel club or the insurance company or anybody, if they're having a dinner party or whatever they're doing in a particular town, and I want to get quick on the board, then I start sending specific clicks through other entities to get the jump that I'm looking for. All right, so that's what I do. Have a great night. Yep. Everybody have a great night. Again, if you found value in this, I know I'm getting a little bit geared towards the end here, but if you found value, please, a thumbs up would be highly beneficial. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm definitely going to jump off now. Thank you so much, and everybody have a great night. Thank you for coming on. Can I use your traffic manipulation to drive traffic to my USA listing from Europe? Yes. Yes. Anywhere you have an internet connection and or you need internet no matter what, but if you have access to the internet, you can utilize my tactics. If you don't have access to the internet, you have to have access to a mobile internet connection of some sort. All right. I teach two different ways. The objective at first was to teach people how to set up the network, but as I started issuing out the trainings, I realized that a lot of people, they knew that CTR was good, but just because they knew how to set up the network doesn't necessarily mean that they know what to do with the traffic to get results, you know? So I want to add a nice section in. And I covered this. I messed up when I was on, I went on to Chase's, site, you know, his page, and when I was on his page, I wanted to showcase particular increases that I had within my own entity, because I cannot show client entity pieces, right? So if nobody saw that particular presentation, the part that I missed out was you know, because I messed up, was this particular property here. I wanted to showcase this. So since I have you all here and I'm getting questions about CTR, let me cover a few elements here. All right. So if you take a look at any and all of the past and all of the, you know, the past updates have been geared around user signals, user engagement. If you take a look, you know, the ranking decline is likely due to an update. Google trying to figure out ranking throughout the weekend. Look at how many changes there are, and a lot of them have been geared around, I mean, numerous other things, but mostly user signals. All right, and there's so many. But here's the part that I missed out. I went to the wrong presentation. So if you came here from Chase's, I missed this one. And what was going on is within a week, and I don't ever get this much in a week, the jump within the listing, it's all coming up. I'm able to create a perfect click, and all of them were tracked. And when you're sending in particular traffic, say you're sending in direct traffic looking for a particular term, once the green starts coming, you're able to start sending keyword focused traffic, and then you end up starting getting discovered a lot more, right? This is where you want it to start getting larger, you know? But once you can dominate the green, I'm just using the colors, if you can send the signals that Google wants to see, which I was able to do at a high percentage, you start getting discovered more. You start popping up more, you know, and that was what I was trying to showcase. What I was doing and how I noticed a significant increase, I was also trying to rank way farther. This was a test. It was a two-way test is what I was doing. So if you search for my business and my main categories, these are my main ranking competitions. All right, so there's SEO Harrisburg. Not only is SEO Harrisburg a main competitor of mine within my small little region here, within the map pack, but it's SEO Harrisburg. Like, Harrisburg is a big city, a big town way away from me. If you take a look here, Wilkes-Barre's here. I'm like over here in this region, right? And actually I'm right here. And Harrisburg is farther away, is what I'm getting at. But in any case, these are my two main ranking competitions. So what I started doing was I started sending keyword targeted traffic, looking and utilizing their names, like their business names. And when I was doing searches, I didn't stop until I landed on a particular entity that I controlled to drive to my GMB. So what I was doing was I was literally searching their business, SEO Harrisburg. I did business near me. I did a lot of these myself. Chris with 2 S's, I was just double checking something. I was looking for Smart Source SEO. So I'm searching for my competition. And then what I did was I was landing on my property, which it's just a big signal. You know, if you're searching for a competitor, and then I'm manipulating the strings to not only search for a competitor, but also mixing in a keyword. But then instead of going to theirs, I'm landing on mine, or also I bounce from their property and head to mine. I mean, I wrote it. It's just a powerful signal. So I just wanted to showcase like a lot of that. And with proximity being a main ranking factor, what I was showcasing here for I showcased a listing that we sold, an unverified listing, which was in New York. It's unverified. How did we rank it? Well, when we have a main proximity and we have our business listing, say here, right, our main business listing, what we did is we sent up other unverified GMBs in a particular area. And what I was doing was I was manipulating and sending traffic through those other properties, and I just put arrows briefly in the towns. Right here, right here. See, I'm pointing at big specific towns, big specific areas. So what I was doing was I was trying to expand proximity by running traffic from and having the device, right, where I'm searching from, because proximity is the factor. I'm doing a search for the business from that distance, from that location. So if I'm here in East, in Elmhurst, we'll say here, and my business is over here in Midtown, and I'm doing Elmhurst, but I'm looking for this business here. If the person in Elmhurst is looking for that business that's over here in Midtown enough times, obviously that's a valuable asset and it should start showing up in Elmhurst. You see what I'm saying? This is where the manipulation comes in. So if you start building on that particular concept of, okay, I have a particular device location, whether it's a computer, a mobile device, a tablet, I'm at a library in a particular location, right? And I'm doing searches for a business outside of the proximity. And if you start mixing that with other factors such as these, searching for other businesses, right? So if we take a look at this map, just because I have a map here, if I'm searching for other businesses that should be here, but I'm landing on my business, which is here, that's how I rank the unverified listings. I mean, that is the secret. Yeah. So in any case, I'm not going through the presentation. I just wanted to showcase that because I think that'll be helpful to the few people that are here. All right. So I hope that oh, you saw that training. Well, I didn't go over the I didn't cover the analytics though. I wanted to do more analytical, because it's, and I'm starting to gather up more people that are having a lot more success. So as they keep coming in, I'll keep sharing it more and more. But eventually, like, I showed that concept, but as that concept, I'm learning and growing on that concept. So like I took that concept and I was able to package it and show people, but I'm moved on to other ways to utilize this, but I wanted to be able to help at least a small group of people if it's, a competitive edge for small business. That's the goal. But in any case, this isn't pitch time. This was question time. So I hope that I was able to provide value. Thank you for your time, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and jump off now. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much. I'm really going now. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great time. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video. Good night, everybody.